Hello, this is Laura. And before we talk about business, let me ask you something honestly. When you hear the word business, what do you feel first? Is it excitement or pressure? For many people, business doesn't feel inspiring. It feels heavy, it feels confusing, and sometimes it feels like it's meant for everyone else, not for you. If you've ever felt that way, I want you to know something right now. You're not wrong. You're not weak. And you're definitely not alone. This episode is not about becoming rich overnight. It's not about hustle culture. And it's not about comparing yourself to anyone. This is a quiet conversation, one human to another, about business, about life, and about the choices we make every single day, even when no one is watching. So wherever you are right now, walking, sitting, resting, or working, stay with me, because this episode is not really about business. It's about you and the life you're slowly building. Many people think business starts with money, but business actually starts much earlier than that. It starts with how you think, how you decide, how you respond when things don't go your way. Every day, you're already doing business. With your time, with your energy, with your attention. Even if you don't own a company, even if you work for someone else, even if you feel like you're just trying to survive, you are managing something important, your life. And that matters. A lot of people say, I don't understand business, but very often what they really mean is, I'm afraid of making the wrong decision. Because business forces you to choose. And choosing means responsibility. Responsibility for your time. Responsibility for your effort. Responsibility for the direction you're moving in. That can feel uncomfortable, especially when you're not sure if you're doing things right. Let me be honest with you. Most people in business don't feel sure. They just keep going anyway. They feel doubt. They feel tired. They feel confused. But they don't stop at the feeling. And maybe right now, you're in that space too, trying to move forward, but questioning yourself quietly. That doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're growing. Business is not loud in real life. It's quiet. It happens in ordinary days, in small decisions, in moments where no one is clapping for you. It's in the way you start your morning, the way you handle stress, the way you continue when motivation disappears. And motivation always disappears at some point. That's normal. What matters is what you do next. Some days, showing up calmly is enough. Not perfectly, not powerfully, just honestly. That's sustainable business thinking. Let's talk about money for a moment gently. Money is emotional, more emotional than most people admit. Some people chase money because they want safety. Some because they want freedom. Some because they want to prove something. And some people avoid thinking about money at all because it makes them uncomfortable. But money itself is not the problem. It's just a tool. Business is about learning how to use that tool without fear. Not rushing, not forcing, but understanding. Understanding what you earn. Understanding what you spend. Understanding what truly matters to you. Because spending money without awareness creates stress, and earning money without purpose creates emptiness. Real business thinking is calm. It's intentional. Now let's talk about confidence. Many people believe they need confidence before they start. But confidence doesn't come first. Action comes first. You act while feeling unsure. You learn while making mistakes. And slowly, confidence grows. Not suddenly, not loudly, quietly. You don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to be willing to learn as you go. Let me say something important and listen carefully. You are not late. You are not behind. You are exactly where your past decisions brought you. And that means your future can change with new decisions. That's not pressure. That's power. If this episode feels personal, if it feels like I'm speaking directly to you, that's because I am, and I want you to pause for a moment. Ask yourself quietly, without judgment, what is one small habit you could improve this week? Not a big plan, not a dramatic change, just one small step. That's how real business grows. If this episode connected with you, I'd really love to hear from you. Write just one word in the comments, a word that describes how you feel right now. And if this podcast is helping you think differently, please like the episode and subscribe to the channel. This space is for people who want to grow without pressure, without noise, at their own pace. In the next part, we'll talk about daily work habits, how to stay consistent without burning out, and how to keep going when things feel slow. This is Laura, and I'm really glad you're here. Hello again. This is Laura. If you're still here with me, thank you. That already says something about you. In the first part, we talked about business as something quiet, something personal, something that starts inside you long before it shows on the outside. In this part, I want to talk about what business looks like in everyday life. Not in big moments, but in normal days, because most of business is lived in ordinary routines. Let me ask you something. How do you usually feel about your daily work? Not your dream job, not your future plans, just your daily work. Do you feel focused or distracted? Do you feel calm or constantly tired? Your answers matter more than you think, because business is not built in sudden success. It's built in daily behavior, the way you start your day, the way you approach tasks, the way you talk to yourself when things feel slow. Some days you wake up motivated. You feel clear. You feel ready. And some days you don't. On those days, discipline matters more than motivation. But discipline doesn't mean being hard on yourself. It doesn't mean pushing until you break. Real discipline is gentle. It's showing up even when energy is low. It's doing what you can, not what you wish you could do. Business is not about doing everything. It's about doing the right things consistently. Let's talk about focus. Focus is one of the most valuable skills in business today. Not intelligence, not speed. Focus. The ability to stay with one task, one idea, one direction. Distraction feels harmless, but over time it steals progress. Every time you switch focus, you lose momentum, and momentum is fragile. That's why calm business thinking chooses fewer things. Not more, or you don't need 10 goals. You need one clear direction, and that direction doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be honest. Now, let's talk about pressure. Many people carry invisible pressure every day. Pressure to succeed, pressure to prove something, pressure to catch up. But pressure rarely creates good business decisions. It creates rushed decisions, and rushed decisions often lead to regret. Business needs space. Space to think, space to reflect, space to adjust. If you're always rushing, ask yourself why. Are you afraid of being left behind? Are you comparing your journey to someone else's? Comparison is one of the fastest ways to lose clarity. You don't know their full story, and they don't know yours. Your life has different responsibilities, different timing, different limits, and that's okay. Let's talk about consistency. Consistency is not about doing a lot. It's about doing a little regularly. Many people quit not because they fail, but because results take time. Business rarely rewards impatience. It rewards people who stay when progress feels invisible. Those quiet weeks, those slow months, that's where most people stop. But that's also where growth is happening, even if you can't see it yet. Now let's talk about mistakes. Mistakes are not a sign that you're bad at business. They're part of learning. Every mistake teaches you something about yourself, about your approach, about what works and what doesn't. The real danger is not making mistakes. It's repeating the same ones without reflection. Take time to reflect. Ask yourself, what worked, what didn't? What can I do differently next time? That simple reflection builds wisdom, and wisdom is more valuable than speed. Let's talk about confidence again, but deeper this time. Confidence doesn't come from success alone. It comes from trust. Trust in yourself. Trust that you can handle problems. Trust that you can learn. Trust that even if things don't go as planned, you'll adapt. That trust grows slowly. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, confidence grows. Every time you finish what you started, confidence grows. Even small promises matter. Waking up when you said you would, completing a task you wanted to avoid, choosing rest when you truly need it. All of this builds inner stability, and business depends on inner stability more than external success. And now let me talk to you directly. If you're feeling tired right now, that doesn't mean as you're failing. If you're feeling confused, that doesn't mean you're lost. If you're feeling slow, that doesn't mean you're behind. It means you're human. Business is a human journey. Some days are productive. Some days are quiet. Both are part of the process. What matters is that you don't disappear from your own life. Stay present. Stay aware. Stay honest. If this part of the podcast is speaking to you, I want you to pause for a moment and notice how you feel. Not what you think, what you feel. And if you're comfortable, write one short sentence in the comments. Not a perfect sentence, just something honest. It helps create connection. And it reminds you that you're not alone. If you're finding value here, please like the episode and subscribe. This podcast is for people who want steady growth, not fast noise. In the next part, we'll talk about long-term thinking, patience in business, and how to stay committed when results come slowly. Stay with me. This is Laura, and you're doing better than you realize. They choose a path, and they stay long enough to see real progress. If you're always starting over, you never go deep enough to grow. Depth beats speed. Another important professional skill is knowing when to stop. Not everything deserves your energy. Some opportunities look exciting, but don't align with your values or goals. Professionals say no more often than they say yes. They protect their time. They protect their focus. They protect their energy. Because they know these are limited resources. Now let me talk to you personally for a moment. If you feel behind, if you feel like others are more successful, more confident, more prepared, remember this. You are only seeing the surface of their journey. You are living every detail of yours. That comparison is not fair. Professional growth is not about becoming someone else. It's about becoming more of yourself, more aware, more skilled, more intentional. And that takes time. Let me leave you with something important. Business is not something you achieve. It's something you practice every day through small decisions, through habits, through how you treat yourself when things go wrong. Be patient with yourself. Be honest with yourself and stay consistent. If this podcast series has helped you think differently, I'd really appreciate it if you let me know. Write a short comment. It doesn't have to be perfect, just real. And if you want more calm, thoughtful conversations like this, please like the episode and subscribe to the channel. This space is for people who want to grow steadily, without pressure, without noise. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your time. This is Laura, and I'll talk to you again soon. Hello? This is Laura again. If you've reached this part, I want to acknowledge something first. Listening until now means you care about growth, about understanding yourself better, about doing things the right way, not the loud way. In this final part, I want to talk to you a little more like a professional, not in a strict or formal way, but in an honest, grounded way, the kind of advice you usually hear only after years of experience. Let's start with something very important. Good business is not about doing more. It's about doing less, but better. Many people stay busy all day. They answer messages, they start tasks, they jump from one thing to another. At the end of the day, they feel exhausted, but not fulfilled. Professional thinking asks a different question. Not how much did I do today, but what actually moved me forward today. Progress usually comes from one or two meaningful actions, not from constant activity. So here's something to reflect on. At the beginning of each day, ask yourself quietly, what is the one thing that matters most today? If you do only that one thing well, the day is already successful. Another professional habit is planning with realism. Many people create plans that look good on paper, but don't match real life. They plan perfect days, perfect energy, perfect focus, but life is not perfect. Professional planning leaves space for interruptions, for tired days, for unexpected problems. Instead of planning 10 tasks, plan 3, and do them with care. This reduces stress, and stress-free work produces better results. Now let's talk about decision-making. One thing professionals understand is this: indecision is more damaging than a wrong decision. Waiting too long, overthinking, doubting yourself endlessly, that drains energy. Not every decision needs to be perfect. Many decisions are adjustable. You choose. You observe the result. You adjust. That's business. Professionals don't wait for certainty. They work with information they have, and they accept that learning happens along the way. Let's talk about communication. In business, how you communicate often matters more than what you know. Clear communication builds trust. Calm communication reduces conflict. Honest communication saves time. You don't need big words to sound professional. You need clarity. Say what you mean. Ask when you don't understand. And don't pretend to know something you don't. That honesty creates respect. Now, let's talk about long-term thinking. One of the biggest differences between beginners and professionals is patience. Professionals understand that real results take time. They don't quit after a few weeks. They don't panic when growth is slow. They don't change direction every time they feel bored. They commit, not blindly, but consciously.